calling to say I I'm just calling to say I
Heaven just knows what it wants. Will I go back to the place where I belong? Everyone could break my heart, but I try my best to not fall apart. And I found it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. You'll be my pleasure. I got nothing to be scared of, because where people live, there is always love. I know the answers in my heart, so I'll try my best to not fall apart. And I found it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure? Find it hard to let go. Memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. Will you be my pleasure?
Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to rFactor 2 again. It's been a while since I have been on this game. Obviously I only do this once a week, so it's good to be back. And this time we've got a MX5 Cup versus Renault Clio Cup race ahead of us here. Now as always we're gonna be trying to make the stream as entertaining as possible here, as we have got two different classes here on the grid racing together. We've got the Mazda MX5 Cups, a little bit more lightweight, rear-wheel drive, nice little, well, I don't want to say budget sports cars, they are still expensive, but they're a great addition and a great start, you know, into a higher racing career. That's why they're very popular. And then we've also got the Renault Clio Cup, which is front-wheel drive, a little bit heavier, but compensates that way because of its extra power. So whether they're going to be faster or not, I'm actually not entirely sure here. Although I do know that it's going to be a lot of fun here as well. Just to give you some ideas here. We've got, well, a tough job for me here in terms of spectating now. Because I'm obviously doing it off the overlay, which is a little bit more difficult now, as I don't have it right in front of me anymore, which should reduce the lag significantly at least. So I hope that that's countering the, you know, things a little bit at least here. But yeah, anyways, how are you guys doing, lads? Hope you guys are all doing great. Good to see you. And I'm going to be trying my best to produce an, entertaining stream for you guys. As I accidentally dragged that down when I didn't want to, but I will. Guess I'm just gonna do it this way and hope that works. It's still a little bit tough to do broadcasting this way, but it's the only thing I've actually got here. So, well, we're just gonna have to rock with it. To Usama, you guys want to see Usama? Let's see where he is then. Usama Kanani. Ride the board with him a little bit here. Now we see if I click tab, that should make things a little bit more clear as well. There we go. Now you guys can actually see what's driving. Now Osama Kanani is a driver that obviously came from Assetto Corsa Competizione. That's his main game for the time being, and I think he's enjoying that game quite a lot. But RF2 now seems to be the priority for him in terms of getting out there. So it's fun to see drivers like him swap over. He was quick as far as I remember. I think I did the Nordschleife event that he was in. That was an absolute pleasure, to be honest. We're going to ride aboard with Mr. Knani a little bit here. To follow everything along here, see what he's able to produce here. So obviously we've got 15 minutes of qualifying and then 3 sprint races here. Well, the first one will be having its starting setup decided by this qualifying session. The race 2 will then be based off the results of race 1, excuse me. And the last race will be the results of race 2, but reverse grid. So therefore, slower drivers then have a chance to try and build something back at least. So it's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out in the end here. As the lap times are slowly coming in here. Now, it appears that the Clios are slightly faster for now. That could obviously still change as more and more times are coming in here. Osama Kanani on the downhill in the meanwhile. The most difficult section here. Obviously, it is one that exists in Assetto Corsa Competizione as well. So therefore, I think it's safe to say that he knows this track pretty well, probably. He's now making his way through the faster part of the circuit here. Then you've got this right-hander before getting into the chicane. And it's just a matter of turning left one more time before making your way to the start-finish. And obviously, when you've got a track like this, the lap times aren't going to be that quick, which is then also going to result in you know, having less opportunities to set a good time, as Osama Kanani is struggling to get the Mazda MX5 into the right direction. Making his way through the last corner now, and let's see what he will be able to reproduce here. So there's been a yellow flag into sector 3, and Osama Kanani puts it in second, but immediately gets pushed down to third as well. So the lap times are just coming in here, and well, time will tell if they'll be improving on that a little bit later on as well here. Yellow in sector 2 now as well. It shouldn't surprise you now. There's so many drivers coming in, and obviously somebody is gonna eventually crash. That's just how it is here. Boki Bradovic in the Renault Clio Cup lost their last time around as well, and did pretty well. Let's see if he's able to reproduce here across the oceans, here down under at Bathurst. And so far I think he's gonna be slightly disappointed with how that went. And it's up to him to try and improve on that later on now, but at the moment it's not happening. This is Dave Goodway. The same livery is chosen as our good friend Mr. Kanani. Dave Goodwin, I'm going to see he's been pushed down to 20th after still being on its out lap. It's going to be a little bit awkward to see him, you know, maybe improve maybe a little bit later. Right on the Storms just joined the server as well. It was a little bit late to the party, so therefore it hasn't set the lap time yet. As is Maurizio Ronchetti already in a good position. E4 is already pretty big, but is he going to be able to improve on that? Well, time will tell, I suppose. Very close on the downhill section here, but manages just about. Could have gone very, very wrong very, very quickly, but he's able to get away with it. As there's more yellow now. Things are awkward out there. It's currently Cyprus that is the first position. Marcin Morel is in second, and then Carla Messina is set in P3. And, well, Richard Ronchetti is looking to improve on that, but not going to be there just yet here. Now, Tom Brunel has struggled a little bit towards the first sector, as Michael Elms is able to improve his time, however, not enough to really gain much from it. Tom Brunel on his push lap then was a little bit slower in the first sector, but we already know that he well, has the potential to be at the top, but so far it hasn't really been his season, or at least not his car maybe, as he struggled at Lime Rock to be a competitive front runner here, although I do believe that he's going to do better here down under as well, because on this straight, well, you're going to gain a lot of time, I think, on the Mazda MX-5s. Interesting to see how that one will pan out in the end. Tom Brunel making his way through nicely. Obviously, track is quite big when you're driving such a slow little car. Although, I must admit it as well, they are incredibly fun here. It is green in the second sector, and now making his way through the last couple corners. What's the time going to be then for Tom Brunel? Well, it's going to be a 2:47.2, so unfortunately no improvement for him just yet here, as you know, that went a little bit wide there. It could have been a violation of track limits pretty easily. It's hard to say, of course, but that was what it felt like here. Now, Rodolphe Biro is making his way through the corners now, and on the downhill he is currently flying through. Doing his best to kind of get out there. See, the corners can be a little bit intimidating here, but he manages nicely And we'll have to try and get to finish as soon as possible. Once again, a green... Rodolph then coming to the final couple corners here, and I think it might just be a killer lap here. Gonna make it to pole, I think, however, should be in for a good one here. What's the time going to be then towards the end? Well, will be a 2:38, and that actually only pushes him in one position, which is surprising to me. I thought that was looking real good out there, but turns out it not quite fast enough, I'm afraid. That sometimes happens. Things are getting tight out there on the downhill section, as was to be expected. You can see the Clio is was definitely sliding around a little bit here. Sisano driving slowly, so it's not going to be improving. Just lining up for the last lap, I presume. A weird one here. Now, Dave Goodway still hasn't set in a proper lap, which is a little bit worrying. Dave Goodway pushing it to the limits here, but that might cost him. That line did look pretty solid through there, however, as he's making his way down. And the yellow was called into sector 2 for a little bit. Now it's actually back. It did disappear for a little while, but just seems to be on and off for now here. But Dave Goodway is now in last position, as he's one of the only two drivers that hasn't set a proper lap in yet, which could prove to be fatal, as that time is just ticking away here. There's 2 minutes left of qualifying. Then we are going to get into the race as soon as possible, which is, well, not necessarily worrying here. Luciano's found a nice way to park the car. I think he's going to be resetting into the pits. At least that makes a lot of sense to me. It's a weird place to stop, though. Now, obviously, this track is a little longer compared to Lime Rock, where they did 1 minute laps. Dave Goodway pushed himself up to P3. Nicely done by him. Out of the danger zone for now here. And he'll be very pleasantly surprised by that here. Treya Lucisano is driving again, but has only just started the lap, so we'll keep an eye out. Mark Stewart's still on his out lap as well, so he's soon going to be starting here. Addison the Storm is finally driving, but is also going to struggle to get that lap in time, and I don't think he has enough time actually. Which could then mean that he's not going to be setting a qualifying time, which is absolutely devastating. Marcin Morel still looking to improve on his time, however, though. The MX5 not really struggling too much on the downhill section here. The Clio seemed to be handling it a little bit worse. See, when you've got that, you know, going through it, you're going sideways, you can just keep hitting the throttle and the car will straighten out anyways, as that's what front wheel drive cars usually do. Have a fast rolling start, and I saw that. That's going to be interesting. I am not sure what to expect, honestly, but we'll find our way. Yeah, rolling starts, obviously, as there were a few concerns with the MX5s in terms of how they got underway. And, well, that's not necessarily worrying, but do like to see things another way, of course. Morel, P4 it is for now. Not bad at all. Not quite there at the top here, as we have officially just finished the qualifying session as well. Everybody was on the lap right now, so let's finish them before we get underway for 3 15-minute races. That will all be very spectacular, I am sure. Now, I'm a big fan of these kind of sprints here. Allow for a little bit more variety, allow for a little bit more action and a compact grid as well. Mark Stewart makes a big mistake, finds himself into the wall, and now finds himself reset into the pits now as well here. So, a couple drivers still finishing up here. Andrea Lucisano being one of them, but not going anywhere with that time here, as he's actually getting bump drafted by Carlo. Unfortunately, however, it wasn't good enough as he sends himself into the wall. It's Euro NCAP all over again. As now everybody's into the pits, apart from Maurizio Ronchetti, who's still doing his thing solo out on track right now. Maurizio Ronchetti currently is set for a good position to start off here. We've got 23 drivers on the grid, so P7 is definitely a great way to be starting your race. And I'm not sure how familiar they are with rolling starts, as I'm fairly new to, you know, Formula Racing League, rFactor 2. I've done a couple of ACC comps for them. This is obviously very different, which is not necessarily a worry, but it also means I'm not really sure what has been happening before this. I know that we've got British touring cars coming up afterwards, which I'm pretty excited for. So that's one of my favorite classes, IRL. And one that I actually happen to follow actively. Most definitely one of my favorite racing disciplines, that is. Touring cars in general, just so awesome. As Maurizio Ronchetti makes his way across the finish now. His lap time won't be it, I'm afraid. That means we have come to a end of the session here. Now, I'm going to quickly play some music, and we'll be back when the race is about to start.
Calling to say I calling to say I say
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby, 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow us down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know racing. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Born to ride, Mustang 65, got that V8 engine with a fuel injection. Drop the clutch, pedal to the floor, turn that giddy button to a lion's roar. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's slow us down, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know racing. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Red light on the highway, blue lights flashing behind me. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are again. Welcome. Now I should probably put this on driver box. There we go, as there's no such thing anymore as a, well, qualifying session, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here. You're so all doing great. And I will take you through this now. It's a rolling start as always, so I say as always, wasn't there last time round, but so be it. We are gonna get on the way soon here. Here we start, and everybody's up to pace immediately here. No overtaking until the first part here, but we are getting underway. It's John Cyprus on pole positions as we are underway. Obviously, people are leaving a little bit more of a gap this time around here, as John Cyprus is the first driver to kind of make their way through here. And so far, it seems relatively clean here. The MX5 seemed to be a little bit more dominant this race compared to the Clio so far, at least as far as you can tell. Obviously, that could change later on. As for now, it seems like the MX5s are most definitely dominant here. There's a big group currently on that downhill here, where there's only one Clio in that mix here. That is Ronchetti, and he was the one that did really well at the Lime Rock Park weekend here. Makes a small mistake and has to kind of wait behind for now. Everything went honestly quite fine as is, so I think it's not looking too bad at all here. At least not yet. Obviously, time will tell to see what really comes of it here. The battle for 4 is currently going on. It's Marcin Morel leading. Then it's Canoni, Messina, Cinella, and Ronchetti right behind it as well. But obviously, the gaps are still very marginal here. So, yeah, things will change around during the race. And I guess for now, there's no real way of knowing what's going to happen here, as Canoni has to be careful of Messina getting side by side into the corner, but he will make his way up ahead. Here's Marcin Morel, makes a mistake and goes into the wall here. Now actually kind of gets stuck on the track here, so already things are now very awkward as everybody has to try and make it through here. Marcin Morel is just somewhere in the barrier standing there and has to kind of get all in behind. And Boki Obradovich, you could just see how chaotic things get as soon as these incidents come around here. And that's another driver off, Andrea Lucisano, and that was one of the other Clios, and I'm not actually sure who it was, but yeah, they find themselves now kind of stuck there as Bradovic once again gets turned around and finds himself facing the wrong way yet again. Well, I suppose that things were meant to be chaotic. But yeah, that obviously does change up the order of the race a little bit as well. Never too great to see. However, we will manage our way regardless here. Yellow in Sector 1. So who could that have been then? We are currently watching Sector 1. Well, I'm not entirely sure actually. It's John Cyprus who's in the lead comfortably. As you will see that the order has changed slightly, but it has mainly remained the same towards the front at least. It's mainly towards the back where you saw that people, you know, kind of ended up losing track a little bit here. And that was also mainly thanks to the incidents, of course, that we have seen people involved in here. I saw the group of Clios here as well. They're all trying to catch up again there. But with such a short sprint race, that will always be difficult here. Now Chris Jones finds himself in P13. Further back than he wants to be here, as Mr. Clio, Alan Palmer, is currently set in P17. Now, he's one of the new admins we've got for rFactor 2, so that's a fun little detail at least. Michael Elms makes his way through, tries to stay ahead of the other Clios. Yeah, it's mainly the 4 drivers that we saw fall back hard. It's Rodolphe Biro, Boki Obradovic, Adrian Samsel, and Andrea Lucisano, driver that we all expect to do well. And Marcin Morel obviously was the first one to get crashed out in the way. Then I saw a big block of smoke, but I think they've just about managed to recover here. As it looks like we've got the safety car out now. Everybody will try and get in behind again. I couldn't really see that from my POV. Obviously, I have a little bit less information than I usually would, so that's why here. But we're all gonna see if everybody's able to make their way in again before we get back to racing here. This is why the lap times are a little bit slower now, obviously. Just have to wait, basically. Everybody's caught up until we get to the end of the track here. That's where we finally could get racing again here. And it's mainly the Clio still behind here. So, yeah, it surprised me a little bit here, considering the top 6 is MX5 before we've got our first Clio, which is this man, Mauricio Ronchetti. Currently driving in P7. So we're now all getting onto that downhill here. Safety car's been out for quite a while at least, but that's what happens when the track is just this long. So the field is nice and close again. It's not going to be too long until we get back to racing at least here, as we are getting closer to the finish of the circuit here. But obviously, they're taking their sweet time as well on the safety car bit here, as it seems like everybody's caught up here at least. We've got one disconnect as well, and that's quite a shame. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but there's no way for me to figure that out, unfortunately, here. Oh, Marcel still driving, but he has disappeared from the timing sheet at least, which is weird. So maybe he's been taken over by the II or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. See a big conga line of cars just making their way through. As wouldn't be surprised to see the safety car come in this lap here. It seems like things are safe for now here. Well, is that going to be the decision, or are we seeing another lap here? Chet is coming in here. He seems to be the only one to do so. And no, the pace car stayed out. So we might just get another lap here, as Ronchetti is the only one to come in here, probably to repair some damages, or maybe he's been the smart man after all, because he's now in the pits. No, he has come to a stop. I was thinking, what if he just tries to drive ahead anyways? Where does that put him? But no. Thought maybe he would have cheated the system. Turns out that's not the case at all. You never know, I suppose. As the pace car still hasn't left us yet for the time being, so just stuck there for now. The lap times are obviously significantly slower this time around now as well. And these are just the dull moments that you kind of have to deal with during your commentary. It happens. It is frustrating, but not much you can do to it, I'm afraid. Just a big group here as we are once again going uphill. The race is only 6.5 minutes remaining here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this would be a very short sprint race down here. Obviously, once that safety car comes in, we are off to green again, and then there's very little time to try and overtake. With there being so much damage out, I'm actually not sure what the plans are here, because this seems a little bit unfair as well for the drivers that have had no chance to basically catch up at all. As it was a couple laps of racing, then we had a massive incident. And from there on, there was just nothing that they could have done about it. Everybody just went to do their own thing, and that's just how it is, I suppose. But it's John Cypress leading at least, as we will soon get into the restart, presumably. We've got Benjamin Ack in second, then we've got Dave Goodway, Carlo Messina, Usama Kanani, Sarah Cianella, Andrea Bodetto, all in MX5s, by the way. Before we finally see a couple Clio RSs out there on the track as well. Starting with P8, that being Antonio Nota. With Tom Brunel actually in prime position to strike as well here. He was a little bit further back last time round. Now he's not anymore, and he finds himself in a position to score some good points as well, which would be very much necessary. See some drivers actually dipping their toes into the grass. Don't know exactly why that was for. Sam has a plan. He might. I mean, he's in P5. He could definitely try and make up some more positions here, as we see him pass by just now. That was a big crashing noise. I hope that was nothing serious. I think that might have just been a visual bug. So I hope so. It's quite awkward here as everybody's just kind of waiting for that pace car to come in, and it's been driving up front quite a while now, but I think he's going to get ready to get in. Would be the logical move here at least. Means we could get back to racing pretty soon here. Let's get more drivers going into the grass. And no, is he going to stay out? He is. We might just get another lap here behind the safety car. And then that might just be the end of the race then. Now it looks like the space cars picked up a little bit more speed at least, but even then, last lap was a 44-minute lap. Not 44 minute, a 4.4 minute lap, of course, I mean. But I guess then that is race over, unless he's finding another way to get in. And I'm afraid that will be the end of race 1 then as well, as John Cypress will just take the victory here behind the safety car. Well, I'm actually not sure what the points ruling for this is, considering we have been driving behind the safety car for pretty long by now. Also means we've got very little racing action going our way. I suppose this will be the order then. It's John Cypress in first, followed by Benjamin Eck. Then we've got Dave Goodway taking a surprise podium here at Bathurst. Then it's Carlo Messina, Osama Knani, Saro Cinella, Andrea Baudetto, Antonio Notta, Tom Bernal, and I Can't Sit Still to finish off our top 10. And then we've got Tissanini, Chris Jones, Romek Lagarde, Heiko Elms, Riders on the Storm, Alan Palmer, Rodolphe Bureau, Boki, Obradovic, Adrian Samsel, Andrea Lucisano, Mark Stewart, Mauricio Ronchetti, and Marcin Morel in last position as well. So, well, as long as they're here, there's not much that they can do here. I mean, there's 1 minute left of the race. And considering we are still on our descent here, I'm not sure if there will be any more opportunity to overtake, really. I mean, we're just too far off now. Even if you were to get up to race pace, I don't think they'll even make it. So, safe to say, not a very eventful first race here. Although that should also mean that John Cypress will be starting off on pole position next time round. Benjamin Eck will take a surprise P2 here as well. I mean, he really hasn't had to fight for it too much here. Dave Goodway, well, he was the one that set a stellar qualifying lap very late into the session. But after that, well, didn't really get to see much action, did he? The race time is officially over here. So it looks like we are getting ready to finish the race here behind the safety car, at least here. And that will mean that John Cypress will take the lead here. And will finish off the race in P1, at least for the first one. Everybody just making it through. There we go. Well, it's coming in as John Cypress is actually following the car into the pits. Nobody's allowed to overtake him, of course, under the safety car. And, well, looks like they are just crossing the line now. And what does that actually mean? Well, looks like we are racing. With, weirdly enough, the timing boxing not really updating here. But as Benjamin Eck makes his way through, he's now set to last here. So things are... not really working properly here. I don't know what the call is going to be. The time is over. Are we going to see another lap then? Well, it looks like it. And that is most definitely also frustrating here for the man that was in first. It's John Cypress who's just stuck there now. Marcin Moreau got the DNF. What's the call going to be here? Well, Dave Goodway, excuse me, is trying to fight for P1. Yeah, we are getting another lap then. Dave Goodway takes the lead on the downhill at least. Benjamin Eck is still following him. Now, I'm not sure how this will be settled here, but things are looking a little bit weird now. Was meant to happen, of course, but yeah, it's a weird thing as Dave Goodway has to take the escape road. Cuts across. Benjamin Eck, someone set to 22nd as well, which is weird. A messy start as we are getting to the downhill here. Dave Goodway is managing it quite well, at least for now. But interesting to see. Nevertheless, that we do have some form of a fight now. Although I'm not sure what the call will be here by the admins as well, because I'm pretty sure the driver that's most frustrated is John Cypress, who was actually winning the entire thing, but now actually somehow struggling. Is Benjamin Eck, who has then taken over the lead here from Dave Goodway, despite being a lap down somehow. I'm not sure how this will count here. Things are getting weirder by the day. But I guess that will mean that Benjamin Eck crosses the line in first now in the race where even I am unsure who's actually won it now. But Benjamin Eck will be the first one to cross the line then, with Dave Goodway following right behind as well. So there they go then. Let's see now, finishes third then. And it's Kanani afterwards. P4, Bodetto after that as well. Then it's Cinella, Nota, Tizzanini, Chris Jones, Romick Lagarde. Riders on the Storm, Boki Bradovic, and Mark Stewart, Tom Brunel, Andrea Lucisano, Alan Palmer, Michael Elms, Rodolphe Bureau finishing between Alan Palmer and Rocchetti then. Then it's Samsol, Icon Sit Still, John Cypress, who's actually gotten the DNF now. Same for Icon Stand Still, Icon Sit Still. Benjamin Eck currently being stuck in the pits as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I am not even sure what is happening here, but this is the order for now, and if I have an update, I will report back to you. For now, we're going to play some music and get ready for race number 2.
just calling to say I. I'm just calling to say I.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So I've got a couple updates for you here. First of all, my apologies for all the drivers that actually didn't get to know which position they were in, but John Cypress did end up winning the race here. That's how I've called it in the end here. As we are looking to get underway here on the rolling start. It's John Cypress to get away well. And the rest of the drivers to just kind of do their own thing a little bit further back here. Who's going to send it up the inside a little bit later on? Well, things have remained clean for now here. Obviously, it will only get harder from here. Everybody makes it through, and the drivers that are in the safety car queue, or actually not in the safety car queue, of course, I mean in the pit lane, they are now just following up. So that's nice. It took a little while to get things going, but now the safety car has been turned off as well. I'm gonna reply. I'm not gonna, read out what Tom Bernil sent me, but yeah. So the safety car is now off due to multiple complaints here, and well, I guess we should just deal with it the way we can here. There's not much that I can do about it, unfortunately. So be it from time to time, I suppose. But speaking about Tom Bernil, he's currently stood in P10. Not bad at all. Consider what he came from here. But we see, this is also the race that's going to decide who starts in which position into the next one here. So the position in first will then be the position in last here. So we're doing a full reversed grid. And that makes it complicated, of course, but it is what it is. We just got to deal with the consequences here. Now the gaps between the drivers are getting a little bit more marginal. As once again the yellow flag was out for a little bit, but unsure what actually caused that here. Romerick Lagarde together here with same livery right behind him. That is Mauricio Bonchetti is following in behind there, but you can already see that the drivers up front are creating a little gap towards the rest of the field here, and the drivers that came into the lap last also find themselves all the way at the back here. Riders on the storm together with his teammates, and they're quite far behind, of course, thanks to all the incidents we've had a little bit earlier on. Traffic going off massively. I'm unsure what that actually is, but he's joining all the way back here. Someone can only also finds himself all the way at the back now. Maybe he was the one going off. It wouldn't surprise me, although I do know him as a very skilled driver. Riders of the Storm now also kind of falling behind here. He's driving a little bit slower than the rest as well here. Now the gaps between all the drivers are kind of increasing. However, Simone Zanini is getting close to Sarah Cianella. It seems like we have a lot of Italian drivers on the grid as well, and that's quite fun. Sina also catching up now. P4. It could very well be turned into top 3. Already, as I say that, is kind of falling behind again. The gaps between drivers is increasing at the front, however towards the middle of the pack there's still plenty to fight for. Simone Tizzanini wants to dive down, not able to do so just yet here, but on the exit trying his best to stay with the Clio a little bit, with the MX5 a little bit more, and I can see that it is indeed quite equal in terms of straight line pace. I was expecting the Clio to be a little bit faster, Turns out it's not the case at all. A shame, but it does make sense. I think if you look at how that thing is just so much lighter. Clio has to also headbutt the air right in front of him. We've got two players almost side by side, but will be Ronchetti to get ahead of Romerick Lagarme here. A very nice recovery made by him so far. Osama Knani has made his way past the Clios that were falling behind at least, but he's still got a very long way to go as well here. In that, well, under 10 minutes now, he's going to be trying his best to try and fill out that gap. However, will it be possible? I'm not entirely sure. Because at the moment, the lap times we're getting are 2:34s, which would mean that we would already be finished in 4 laps again, which really isn't that much time when you think of it. Then the other side, we're not even halfway through race 2 yet. So it kind of depends on your perspective, I suppose, here. Lagarme wants to try and make his way past Ronchetti again. However, he's on the outside line, and that's a little bit uncomfortable. I'm trying to go around the outside, perhaps on the other corner. That should be a corner that Maurizio Ronchetti should be able to defend pretty easily, and that's exactly what happens here. It's Lagarme to seize his opening attack, and he's going to be trying again just a little bit later on, I suppose, but for now he's just kind of stuck waiting there. Mark Stewart in trouble. One Clio behind him as well, as Osama Knani was just charging through the field at the moment. Doing such a massive job right now. And he looks to stay that way. Mark Stewart already looking in his mirrors, knowing that eventually going to be trying to make a move here, but at the moment it's just not possible. Now, Alan Palmer's livery. I thought for some reason he was actually missing a front bumper, but no, that's just the black on black. Made it a little bit more difficult to see. Obviously these are a little bit older. They're not the most recent version of Clio, I believe. I think there's one more generation above it now. Although I must admit that my knowledge of Renaults also isn't that big here. So McNally makes his way past, once again gains another position. Alan Palmer's just kind of stuck there for now, trying his best. However, this time around, not able to do it. So he's waiting for an opportunity to rise again, but he seems to have lost pace. And there's also kind of losing that connection here as Mark Stewart trying to defend heavily here. Osama Knani wants to go. What a dive down the inside it was, and he gets the car slowed down in time. What a beautiful move we saw there from Osama Knani, and now finds themselves in P14. That is so well done. Their big incident, Alan Palmer and Mark Stewart, they get into the barriers together. Alan Palmer's just been T-boned into that one, I'm afraid. Yeah, race over, you like to think, right? There's so much damage done. It's going to cost him so much time. And also the damage is going to play a big part here. One of the Clios is already on the way. I'm unsure as to what has actually happened with the other driver that we saw crashing into him. They let them be a warning sign as well. We see those Clios are a little bit bigger. That is, in my opinion at least, a little bit intimidating as well. But we're going to see if they're able to catch up. Time will tell, I suppose. I can't sit still. Close to Antonio Nota. Hoping to get by sooner or later. But at the moment in the downhill section, there's not much that he can do except for spectate or hope that Antonio Nota ends up crashing. You know, they're just slipping and sliding his way through. That's gonna cost him a tiny bit of exit speed there, although I don't think Icon Sit Still is getting that much closer now, so I think he's just about able to get away with it, at least for now. As Mr. Lagarmir is now also trying to get past Tom Brunel here, but Tom Brunel obviously has the inside line here. As long as he can stay with him on this little kink towards the right side then, and he's going to try to outbrake Lagarm, who's still trying to move it around the outside, and Tom Brunel has to leave him the space as well, but he is now most definitely ahead, and he's looking to maintain that spot as well. Doing his damn best to try and stay ahead, but it's difficult for Tom Brunel as he obviously is handling that Clio very precisely around the track right now. But looking in his mirrors, Lagarm is competitive. He's very quick out there tonight. Is now set in P10. A good result from him so far. And I wonder if he's able to keep that up. Time will tell, I suppose. As the Clios are once again the slower cars on the grid here. It surprises me now. I think in general the Clios are a little bit weaker than the MX5s are, but even then. And it's not necessarily the downhill side of it either. It's just somehow that they're not able to keep up, and I'm actually unsure where they're actually losing that time. Cyprus is currently leading the race as Benjamin Eck is chasing around and hoping that he can one day pull off that move. John Cyprus desperately trying to run away, but these are people that know what they're doing. John Cyprus was so quick and competitive out there during qualifying, during the first race he won. Jiminek hasn't made his way past yet, but he is also looking quick. He set the current fastest time of the race, which is a 2:34.377, which is more than a tenth quicker than John Cyprus was in his fastest lap so far. So definitely not done with the battle yet. And we're keeping our eye out to decide, well, is that battle worth showing again? Well, it might just be here. Benjamin Eck trying his best to get closer now, and actually he is all over John Cyprus right now. He's onto the grass. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. It doesn't seem like it, but an optimistic move shut down by John Cyprus. But he very well knows there's another lap coming up here. Also knows that should be the final one. Judging by the lap times that are coming in right now, there's not enough time for another one. But even then, that's scary. Riders on the Stormuth has got himself the disconnect here. As John Cyprus will be relieved to see that he's got the uphill section coming up quite soon here. But Benjamin Eck is catching ever so slightly. And now brakes late as well. Wants to ensure that John Cyprus is absolutely squeezing it. That's where you're most vulnerable, right? Prone to mistakes. Gap currently is simply too far, it looks like. Cyprus is once again making his way to the uphill. We'll see how that goes a little bit later on here. Benjamin Eck chasing. This is what it looks like for him. See, these MX5s, they feel very lively. They are very quick. They are very agile. I think this might just be one of the best racing cars ever made in terms of, you know, it having the surprise factor, right? It steers so nicely. It's powerful enough to get around, yet also easy enough to handle that a beginner could try his luck. They make for amazing racing. If you haven't checked it out, the Mazda MX-5s are a supporting series for IMSA, and they have produced some of the best racing I have seen so far. If you're interested in that stuff, check it out. It's really, really, really amazing to see. Now this is obviously the last lap here, as the timer is just running out as we speak. So far it looks like John Cypress might just do it. Seems to be too far off, I'm afraid, as Tizzanini is struggling to make his way through the corner. That's going to cost him quite a lot of time here. As looks like John Cypress is almost there here. A couple corners remain here. As he is swerving over the main straight to ensure that Benjamin Eck is not able to get into a slipstream. Has caught up a little bit. The gap is too far. John Cypress makes his way through the last corner nicely as Benjamin Eck is pushing it to the limit. But John Cypress takes victory at Bathurst once again as Benjamin Eck is able to get in there in second place as well. Dave Goodway, P3. Then we've got Carlo Messina in P4 with this Saro Cianella in P5 immediately after. Bordetto also making his way through now. He will be finishing off, and Ronchetti there absolutely on the limit as Tizzanini definitely isn't out of the danger zone yet, but he's going to be pleasant to see that finish come around the corner. It's Simone Tizzanini to finish P7, and it was Ronchetti, Lagarma, Chris Jones, and Icon Sit Still was somehow back into the race apparently, as he was quite far back a little bit later on. That's what it looked like at least. Chris Jones, P10, Icon Sit Still, Antonio Notta. Then we've got Knani in P13, good recovery drive. Renil to finish P14. Then we've got Mark Stewart, Andrea Lucisano, Adrian Samson, Rodolphe Biro, Helen Palmer, Michael Elms, and then Riders of the Storm with the disconnect as well. We are going to get ready for our last drive of today, and that will be in a couple minutes. So stay tuned as we will play some music one more time and then get ready for our reverse grid race.
Calling to say I calling to say I say
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the final race here. And this is a special one here, as obviously the drivers that were at the back are now at the front. And that's going to make quite a big difference, obviously. As we are about to get going with our start as per usual here. With John Cypress at the back, Benjamin Eck as well. They're going to be trying to make their way past these slower drivers, which could be pretty challenging around the circuit like Bathurst here. The countdown is already underway here, so now that we are starting, the race has, well, not officially yet started here. Everybody first has to make it through. And they will here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The race is underway. Auke Elms leads for the first time this weekend. It's mainly the other drivers that we are worried about. Who's going to make it through the corners? Nice. That's a little bit more important. There has been a massive touch there at the front. So many drivers sliding across here. But I think the damage has been limited for now. So I think we will be all right at least here. But yeah, that looked a little bit messy. But I think everybody has basically survived without any major touches, which is pretty big already. Oof, big incident. Antonio Nota goes around and, well, then there's a massive incident towards the back there. That's not what you want to see at all. A big shunt, multiple drivers involved as well, so that's already kind of allowed for some drivers to kind of get up there, as the slower drivers have just been taken out or forced backwards in another way by taking evasive action or something on those lines here. That's green again, at least at this part of the circuit here, so it is Alan Palmer to lead here with the Clios now at the front for the first time this weekend. Obviously that's what happens when you've got a you know, reverse grid, and they were slower all weekend, so now maybe they will have a chance here. John Cypress is in the pits already. Chris Jones is all the way back now, so is Benjamin Axe still. Not too great here. Michael Elms is going to spin it around, and well, unfortunately there's just no way that Adrian Sampson was able to take evasive action. Force him back. Just a little bit more here, more touches as Adrian Sampson is just being pushed around there. Not what you want to be seeing at all. Benjamin Eck also looking to recover, but he's so far away. It looks like just sending the car across. Hoping to catch up, but the incidents towards the front have been pretty significant already here. And well, it's become good for some of the drivers, but for the majority it's been tough. For example, Osama Kanani now finds himself in P3 already because of it, but we also see some drivers falling off massively here. For example, Benjamin Eck is now all the way back, so Luciano is currently too far to try and challenge. Osama Kanani knows this, so he's just gonna wait for an opportunity to come. Which is not just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes a little bit later, because Kanani's been really fast this weekend all around. Obviously, I haven't really seen it that much, as he was in the midfield, but definitely has the potential. So Alan Palmer to go fastest overall now, with a 2:49.666. Allowing him to kind of drive away from the rest here. Mr. Clio himself is looking to get so much damage done. But will he? I believe. But does the rest? Time will tell us. There's a massive incident. Yeah, how do you get through? Well, you don't. One driver did. The rest just kind of stuck there for now. I remember in Slagger, I'm also wondering, like, how am I even supposed to get past here? It's playing bumper cars almost. What an absolute mess that was. Mark Stewart now all the way back. Luckily, they are off the line here, so you are able to get going again. But that's just the downside of these narrow, tight circuits where really rely on people ahead of you not crashing, and unfortunately that was what happened this time round. Now this caused the battle to be the way it is here. There's a nice four-way Clio battle here. It's currently being led by Rodolphe Biro, then it's Tom Brunel right behind him. Icon sits still, and Ronchetti all very much in the mix here to get up to P4, which is a great position to be in with just 10 minutes remaining of that race. And obviously that doesn't seem like a lot, but that is just 2 laps, of course. Rodolphe Biro is leading that group, and all the drivers here just making their way past here. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brunel is going to try and go for a move here around the outside, or is he past already? It's hard to tell. I think he might be already. Biro is falling all the way back now. Tom Brunel takes the lead here, and Biro tries to desperately hang on. Unfortunately, Richard Ronchetti isn't keen on giving up just yet there. Icon sits still, not able to get by. He was the only driver that was not able to get through here. But Tom Brunel is now in P4, which is a great result here. Icon sits still, goes up the inside of Rodolphe Biro, and he falls all the way back now. From P4 to P7. It's tough, but you gotta keep your head down. There is still time to catch up, of course, here as some sand is being taken. Zanini also very far off now. I don't know what this is all about, but taking the grass seems to be a popular route here over at Bathurst. We've seen it multiple times, even when it wasn't necessarily at all. Benjamin Eck just trying to get up there. Obviously, he's had some good results this weekend already, but it would be nice to end it off with a victory. But that victory seems far away for now, as it's Alan Palmer leading. Sam McNally was 2 seconds faster in his fastest lap now, though, so that's scary. But is his gap enough? Can he manage to stay ahead? Well, time will tell, I suppose. Here first, Knani has to get by Andrea Lucisano, which is easier said than done, of course. Brunel second in the group now, as Ronchetti has kind of managed to stick with Sam McNally rather than take with the group behind him. So he's trying to push up for that third position here. Podium still very much in the cards for Mauricio Ronchetti, that is. Knowing that Osama Knani is quick. It might be Lucisano that's in trouble here, as the slipstream is being used to its full advantage here. You can see that he just gets a massive sling. And actually, it might be both the Clios getting by here, so Lucisano losing 2 at once. Frustrating, but that also means that Osama Knani is now free to push his way through. Alan Palmer currently in first. To get by. But at the moment, I think he's more worried about the threat from behind there, as Mauricio Ronchetti is very much staying with him here. Lap times between them actually are pretty similar. But it is still Ronchetti now to set the fastest laps. As I said, that, well, changed. So I was going to say it was Knani to set the fast lap, but now it's been broken by about a second here. Ronchetti with a massive lap in. Finds himself in P3. Not bad at all. Dave Goodway's I've gotten the DNF here on Cyprus. Hasn't bothered racing at all here, so a little bit disappointing as well, in my opinion. Andrea Lucisano still P4. Ronchetti has made his way past Knani now. as the downhill is once again coming up. Chetty currently has that gap to be safe, but also knows that he can't afford to make a mistake for now. I can't sit still in that mix as well. Tom Bernil in stable P5. This is the corner we've seen so many of the Clios struggle to get it around the corner. This time they've all managed at least. All seem to struggle a little bit with understeer. That makes sense, right? Tough corner for a car like the Clio, where you have to kind of go downhill, sharp turns, but also full on the throttle. The recipe for understeer, of course, as Ronchetti here is going for the move here onto Alan Palmer. He's already passed officially here, and Palmer going way too wide, and Sama Knani tries to count for it, but is not able to take evading action. Actually ends up driving into the wall himself. It'd have been unfortunate there, as Alan Palmer's fallen all the way back now. Into the grass he goes now. Knani did the right thing, right? He tried to take evasive action, but unfortunately there was nowhere that he could go. Now with that damage, he is P2 again. Ronchetti is still ahead of him, as Alan Palmer has thrown away every single chance that he had there for a podium. So that must be so frustrating for him as well. Unfortunately, a little bit frustrating. So half a second between them now. Carlo Messina also close. Alan Palmer is driving ahead there. But obviously that is a back marker already. Mark Stewart is all the way back in P19. He might be getting lapped in a 15-minute race. That's not something you see every day. Because Mark Stewart is quick, and he's proven it as well around Lime Rock. So seeing him there surprises me a little bit. I suppose that's how it is sometimes here. So it's going to make sure that they get by and nobody gets in the way of them. That's your main priority here. Lucisano once again. Very close to Osama Knani as he hits the wall at a massive speed. Massive rollovers coming out. And now just parked up against the barrier. Is that race over for Osama Knani then? What a massive shunt that was. Well, that was very dramatic to say the least. He's been stuck there now, and I'm afraid he can't even get out of that position, even if he would have wanted to. Tom Bernil therefore pushes up to third. With Knani just being stuck there for now, of course. So still a podium chance here. However, I can't sit still. Would love to get around. And Ronchetti would be happy to see that Lucisano's all the way back. And Tom Bernil behind him is fighting for his life to try and stay ahead. Vicons is still actually bump drafting each other now, it appears to be. Pushes him all the way through. Maybe working together a little bit here, however. Catching Lucisano in one lap will be difficult. Gap just seems too big for now. The gap roughly being 2 seconds. But who knows, maybe we'll have a slip up later on. As for now, will mainly be the battle for third, I'm afraid. I can't sit still close by. Just he can basically smell the car at this point ahead of him. However, getting by is the thing that will be more difficult there. We are at the end of the race here. The last lap has been entered. And now Lucisano is kind of falling behind a little bit here in terms of pace, and that has allowed field to kind of become a little bit more compact again. Brunel and P3 still. Very close to the end. Iconsit's still approaching with a rapid pace. Chetty's still in that lead, followed by Lucisano. Then it's Tom Brunel and Iconsit still, but the podium for Tom Brunel. He's such a confident booster as well, considering this is the last race here of this entire season before we're moving on to the British Touring Car Championship, which will be a lot of fun as well. Here Tom Brunel, massive speed boost now. Has to be careful that he doesn't push off. Driver behind and Iconsit still kind of misses the braking point and touches Tom Brunel around. Massive drama towards the end there as Carlo Messina now has massive speeds. Coming into the next corner, well, might just be able to go on the inside and snatch away that podium position from Tom Brunel. That's exactly what's happened here. Tronchetti first, then Lucisano. Carlo Messina steals away a third position as Tom Brunel comes in behind him. And then it's Iconsit still, Alan Palmer, Andrea Bodetto, Mark Stewart in P18 to finish as well. Cianella is next. And then we have Rodolphe Bureau and Benjamin Eck in P10. Still stable results considering where he had to come from. Tony Anota to finish off behind him. And then it's just a matter of waiting for Tizzanini, who's still all the way back here, to finish off the race as well. We're 3 Clio drivers approaching as we speak. It will be Tizzanini in first. Then we've got Romeric Lagarde. And then Michael Elms as well, who started the race on pole position, but unfortunately has fallen off all the way to P14. Just a little bit frustrating to say the least. That's Chris Jones coming next. And then Adrian Samsel very close by, but unfortunately not able to close that gap for now. Tried his best as Buki Bradovic was hoping for more. Couldn't get it in the end. And the last 4 drivers will be either in the pits or DNF here. That being Mark Stewart in the pits, Kanani and Goodway for the DNFs here. Obviously the massive shunt to Kanani definitely didn't do him any favors. And John Cypress, who never got racing anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I for sure have. It's been an absolute pleasure. Apologies for the stream not really being up to standards. I'm a little bit tired, as you might be able to tell. But I've given it my all, and I hope you guys did enjoy nevertheless. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week round for the BTCC season. My name is Ricky from RDC Broadcasting. If you're interested in learning about me, have a look at rdcbroadcasting.com, where you can find everything you need about me. Until then, see you next time.